Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my podcast. I am your host, John Bucalaire, and today we are doing an expose on Divine Child's football program. We will have guest appearances from Shane Fugate live today. He is a former 2016 graduate of Divine Child who played linebacker and wide receiver for 4 years on varsity football, as well as 4 years on varsity baseball as well. Shane currently plays at University of Michigan Dearborn in their baseball program, and I will also have guest appearances from Coach Nick Plaucha from the Divine Child football coaching staff himself, as well as former quarterback for Divine Child, Jimmy Seawald, who plays at Valparaiso University right now and has been a 2 year starting quarterback captain for them. Joining us first here today is Shane Fugate. Shane Fugate is a graduate of 2016, where he was a 4 year varsity football player, a 4 year varsity baseball player as well. He played to positions of wide receiver and linebacker in football. And Shane, how you doing today?
I'm good, John. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Shane, can you tell us how the program, the football program in specific, at Divine Child has impacted you to become the man, the leader, and not only your current sport, baseball, at U of M Dearborn, but in general as yourself?
Well, that's a good question. We were expected a lot on and off the field playing for Divine Child. We were expected to just have success at all times. It's a traditional program, a lot of tradition, and we were expected to have success. And we were also expected to succeed off the field in the classroom. So there's a lot of pressure on you in those regards. And another thing was just having discipline at all times. That was something that the coaches preached, and I think that was able to help me build some discipline-like character traits.
Cool. Thank you, Shane Fugate. This has been Shane Fugate. He's graduated Divine Child 2016, wide receiver and linebacker, one of the most impactful players in the program, had 9 touchdowns his junior year. Thank you, Shane. Joining us on the next segment of this podcast is Coach Nick Plaucha. Coach Nick Plaucha is an assistant football coach on Divine Child's varsity team. He has been there for the last 5 years now, and he's part of the reason why their program today is prominent and in the certain lightness that it is. And Coach P here is going to tell us a little bit about how the program looks for the future of Divine Child, as well as how certain players like Jimmy Seawald, Aiden Hutchinson, Theo Day, Shane Fugate have all impacted those programs, some of the more prominent players. So, Coach B, thank you for coming on, and why don't you tell me a little bit about how DC looks for next year?
Next season we have 21 seniors coming back. Should be a very heavy senior class again. Probably to be led by Colin Kelly. He's a slot receiver, and this year at the end of the season played out of necessity some overhang for us and became one of our better defensive players for the year. Colin is the younger brother of Caleb, who graduated this year, and Caleb actually just recently, as of 2 days ago, committed to Indiana Wesleyan to play college football next year. So really, really excited to see Colin and the rest of our group play.
Coach P, thank you. Got one more question for you. So there's players that have gone through the program like Aiden Hutchinson, Theo Day, Jimmy Seawald, all prominent players that have come recently into the program. Aiden plays at Michigan, Theo Michigan State, Jimmy at Valparaiso. Could you just kind of outline and tell me how some of those players, specifically those three, have impacted your program and made it to where you guys are today, and to keep pushing forward and being a winning program like you guys are today?
I think players are found. The tough thing that parents need to understand is that high school coaches don't give scholarships. If you're good enough, you're going to play. And the 3 young men that you talked about were just absolutely dynamic athletes on the football field, wonderful students in the classroom, and great young men to be a part of a program. First off with Jimmy Seawald, Jimmy went to Valparaiso University. It was named a captain this year and had to redshirt due to a medical concern. but was named a captain after he had a surgery that was probably going to put him out for the year. Unanimously was voted a captain, and last year as a sophomore received the team MVP award. So, Jimmy has gone through a lot, and to speak to his character that lost his father a little ways back, about a year and a half ago, and to see how he's progressed through it and always willing to give back to his team no matter what the cost was to him. Aiden Hutchinson and Theo Day we had last year. We were blessed to have both of them for 2 years. Theo transferred to us from Catholic Central. Wanted an opportunity to shine as a passing quarterback, and he did. Theo, I believe, was the number 7 pocket passer in the country coming out of high school. He early enrolled into college at Michigan State. Signed his letter of intent in the middle of December last year and graduated in January. Really speaks volumes of Theo's character and how grown up he was and ready to take the next step. Aiden Hutchinson as well. Of the two, Aiden's seen some significant playing time for the University of Michigan, backing up Rashawn Gary, with Rashawn transferring and going into the draft. I'm assuming he's not going to play in the bowl game, which is going to give Aiden a little bit more time, I think. As a freshman at a program that is that prestigious, it's really exciting to see Aiden, and we knew that he could do those things. For the school, the recruiting over the past couple years has just been crazy, and I think there are more and more kids that are interested in coming to Divine Child because they see, Alabama and Michigan State and Michigan and Georgia and every team that you can imagine coming in and wanting to see our athletes. But on the flip side of that, we also have more Division II, Division I FCS, Division III, and NAIA programs coming in as well because our kids play at a really high caliber. I think it goes along with how intelligent they are about the game. I really think that our kids are students of the game and can go in immediately and make a big impact right away because they understand the game and understand what it takes to play at that next level because they work so hard here. And what I really feel is kind of a collegiate style practice. We're fast moving, we're fast paced. We ask a lot out of our kids, and they have grinding and grueling academic schedules throughout the day. So for those three, they've kind of set the bar for our program over the past few years, and we were really blessed and thankful to have them all.
Thank you, everyone. That was Coach Nick Plauscha, assistant varsity football coach at Divine Child High School. As far as those three characters, as Theo, Jimmy, and Aiden go, I can completely agree and attest to their character. Those three were just terrific young men on and off the field. And right now, actually, we're going to go over to Jimmy Seawald, the quarterback, and will be a 2-year captain at Valparaiso, and was a 2-year captain at DC, and also a 4-year varsity letterman. Jimmy Seawald, could you tell us a little bit about how Divine Child, the program, has helped you and impacted you to become the man and the leader you are today?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the main reason that I've had so much success after my time at DC is the discipline factor that they instill in you, not only out at practice that the coaches do, but also in the classrooms that the teachers do. They hold you to the same level and the same accountability is expected. I think that really made me into the leader that I am today. Being a captain back at DC for 2 years, I really learned a lot about being a leader there, and it's carried over to here in college. I'll be a 2-year captain this year, so the things that I've learned at DC made all this possible.
Thank you, Jimmy. From everything that Coach Plauscha says about you, he says that you are a terrific person, in the classroom, on the field as a leader at practice, and just had a lot of good things to say about you. He also says they're looking up for this year, so maybe you could tell us a little bit, what do you think about the future of DC's program?
Yeah, you can always expect hard workers from DC and a good coach team. They know what they're doing over there, and they do the best they can with what they've got. So I'm looking forward to following them more.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. That was Jimmy Seawald, the quarterback at Valparaiso University. Jimmy, we thank you for coming on the show, and we wish you a good luck next year.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes this episode of this podcast. Hope everyone here learned a little bit more about the Divine Childs football program and how it's impacted some of the young men that are doing some real great things around the country today. And Jimmy, Aiden, Theo, and Shane, and Coach Nick Ploucher himself had a lot of really good things to say about these young men and their program. And I just want to thank you guys for listening and have a good day.